Assalomu alaykum hammaga. Sizlar bilan JK IELTS kanalida Jasurbek Qodirov. Bugun sizlar bilan biz IELTS Reading Passage 3 ishlab ko'ramiz va aytib o'tishim kerakki, mana shu passage haqiqiy IELTS imtihonida tushgan passage hisoblanadi va bunday passagelarni ishlab turib biz IELTS ni haqiqiy IELTS dagi readinglarni qiyinchilik darajasini ko'rib olishimiz mumkin. Lekin aytib o'tishim kerakki, bu Cambridge tomonidan berilgan IELTS uchun practice materiallari bilan qiyinchilik darajasi deyarli bir xil, ya'ni bu yerdagi material undan ancha qiyinroq yoki ancha osonroq ham emas. Qiyinchilik darajasi deyarli demak bir xil. Yana bir narsani aytib o'tishim kerak. Agar siz bizni Telegramdan tashqari boshqa platformada ko'rayotgan bo'lsangiz, YouTube yoki Instagram shunaqa platformada ko'rayotgan bo'lsangiz, albatta bizni Telegram kanalimizga o'tingda obuna bo'lib qo'ying, chunki bu yerda tushuntiradigan passage'im, bu yerda tushuntiradigan demak o'sha passage'dagi hamma savollar va barchasi Telegramdagi demak kanalimizda PDF formatda yuborib qo'yilgan. Agar bizni YouTube'da ko'rayotgan bo'lsangiz, albatta Telegramga kirib, o'sha passage'ni chiqarib olib, ishlab turib, keyin bu videoni ko'rsangiz, sizga anchagina samarali bo'ladi. Ya'ni anchagina ko'proq foyda olasiz bu video darslikdan. Chunki sizga oldindan tushuntirib qo'ygan narsamni borib turib endi qarab chiqishdan umuman foyda yo'q. Shuning uchun albatta birinchi bo'lib turib videoni to'xtating va PDF ni chiqarib ishlab ko'ring. Undan keyin kelib turib bu videoni ko'ring. Umid qilamanki bu video juda ham foydali bo'ladi. Agar foydali bo'lsa, albatta do'stlaringizga yuborib qo'ying va JK IELTS ga obuna bo'ling. Demak, boshladik. Okay then, let's start. By the way, guys, I have to warn you that this video walkthrough will be in Uzbek and English. Okay. So let's see. So first of all, whenever I look at the passage, first of all, I start with the title, because title is very important, because it's gonna give you information about the passage about the content that you're going to read. Okay, so here, fear of the unknown. Okay, I read it and understood, and then I'm gonna look at the subtitle if there is one. So in this case, we have a subtitle and I have to look at it. American companies fear that innovation is the secret of success and that they cannot innovate. Okay, we understood that it's about American companies that fear that they cannot innovate, and because of that they cannot success. So this is about business, right? So we understood that. Now, after reading the title and subtitle, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I have to introduce myself with question types. So in this case, we have these question types. If you look at this side of the screen, you can see that we have this question type, which says which paragraph contains, right? Which paragraph contains question type, and then we have this true, false, not given question type, and then we have this what is it? Multiple choice question type, right? So these are choices. You see, guys, we are given questions and then we are given choices. So these are my questions. So I have to deal with them, right? So and after knowing how what kind of question types are given to me, my next step would be to start reading. But before that, I need to tell you that, guys, you have to know the order of answers to each of the question type. All right. For example, here for the question type which paragraph contains, the answers do not come in order. Well, they come sometimes. So the answers sometimes come in order for this question type, and for true, false, not given and multiple choice question type, answers are always in order. So you have to know these question types and their orders in reading, because if you really want to get the highest possible score, which is 9, you have to know them, because I got 9 and my students got 8.5, 8 and 9 because of this knowledge. All right, so they have to know what kind of question types are given and what is the order of answers for those question types. So you have to be very familiar with those question types in your IELTS reading. By the way, I need to tell you that if you really want to know these question types and their orders, it's available on my Telegram channel, which is JK IELTS. So you can just search it on Telegram platform and then find it and then subscribe and find the all the IELTS related useful content there and use it. So let's continue. Okay, I read two of true false not given questions because one of them can be not given, especially answer for 8's question can be not given, and in that case if I find answer for 9's question first, it means that the answer for the previous one was either not given or I could not find it, and yeah, it can signal me. So yeah, that's why I need to read two questions here. But for multiple choice, I don't have to do that because it's always in order, and the answer for multiple choice cannot be not given, right? So we got the point. Now let's read the questions here that I mentioned, and then I'm gonna start reading passage, and then I'm gonna start reading the paragraph A. All right. Now let's see. What point does the writer make about intellectual property? Okay. Now here I have given this. I am given this question about intellectual property. So whenever I find a paragraph where there is information about intellectual property, I have to read it. Okay. I have to read it and try to find the answer for question number 12, of course. And what about here? 8. Umagic Systems is an example of a new innovative company. All right. So they're the examples of a new innovative company. So I got the point, and these are my kind of signal words, right? Or keywords, we can say. But these words can be, of course, paraphrased, but I have to understand the key meaning, not the keyword itself. And Amazon and Walmart have exchanged successful ideas on innovation. All right, so these two companies gave to each other some kind of ideas about innovation, right? Successful ideas, great ideas about innovation. So I got the point, and I have to read the paragraph A. And as for this question, I don't have to read it now because after finishing paragraph A, I can read and analyze each of them, and then if there is answer for question A, I'm gonna find it. Okay, so let's see. In the small Umagic office in Midtown Manhattan, a team of 30 computer programs are working on setting up websites that will allow subscribers to feed in details about themselves and their problems, and to receive advice from virtual versions of personalities regarded as experts in their fields. For example, a well-known dietitian, a celebrity fitness trainer, a psychologist well-known in the media for her work on parent-child relationships. All right, great. So we are reading about a company which is Umagic Office, which is Umagic, so it gives some kind of suggestions to people who are going to this website, and there the people can find some information or recommendation from some kind of experts, right? Well, actually from their virtual versions of these experts, and the experts are in the field of well, they can be dietitians, they can be fitness trainers, or they can be some kind of psychologists, right? So we got the point, and we're gonna move on. Where is it? Yeah, Umagic Systems is a young firm, and it's hard to predict how far they'll go in 10 years time. Okay, so here a little spelling mistake here, so it means in 10 years time. Consulting a computer about your diet problems might seem natural, or it might seem absurd. Okay, so here it says, so well, it's unknown for now. It's unknown how successful this company is going to be, and it also says that in 10 years, like after 10 years, we don't know whether it's gonna become a normal occasion to see people asking some kind of diet problems or diet suggestions, recommendations from computer. Let's move on. But the company and others like it are beginning to seriously worry large American firms who see such half crazy new and innovative ideas, right? Half crazy new and innovative ideas as a threat to their own future success. Okay, so this company and others like this are worrying that big companies are gonna see such companies with new ideas as a threat to their future success. So it's about that. So I understood what the paragraph is about. So I got the point, and now my task is to try to answer. First, let's start with true, false, not given. So Umagic Systems is an example of a new innovative company. Well, here I guess I found the answer because, well, I think it's true, because I found the answer. It's true. Here I'm going to write T for true, right? Because here it says, but the company and others like it are beginning to seriously worry large American firms who see such. Here, such is playing a huge role, guys, a huge role, because such is a referencing word here, because you have to know that such words refer to some kind of ideas that are given before them, all right? So such half crazy new and innovative ideas are like you magic. Yeah, it's talking about you magic such. Yani bu yerda shunday demak yarim ahmoqona va innovativ g'oyalar deb turib, shunday, ya'ni qanday o'sha you magic dagi g'oyalar nazarda tutilyapti. Demak, mana shu bu yerda demak reference qilyapti. Agar mabodo bilmasangiz referencing nimaligini albatta ko'rib chiqing, o'rganib chiqing yoki JK IELTS kanaliga obuna bo'ling. Telegramdagi u yerda ko'p mana shunaqa ma'lumotlarni olib borasiz va IELTS'ni menimcha yaxshi topshirib olasiz. Okay, we're going to continue. So that's why the answer is true. And then Amazon and Walmart have exchanged. So in this paragraph, I found no information about Amazon and Walmart. So it means that I don't find any information for true, false, not given. So I'm gonna go to this question. So what point does the writer make about intellectual property? Well, there's no information about intellectual property, so I'm gonna skip that. And then here I have to analyze each of these ideas, and then I have to choose if I have to find if any of the information given here is hidden in this paragraph, right? So let's see. The methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. All right, so there is no information about any employees and any methods, but I have to understand this and underline or highlight. Well, if you're in the real exam, you can highlight, but here you can of course highlight. I can of course highlight. So methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. All right. So, but there's no such information. A new way of getting help with your personal difficulties. Well, I guess this information was given here because a new way of getting help, right? Of getting help. So here it was information about and your personal difficulties. Well, personal difficulties were mentioned here. For example, here, where was it? Here, subscribers to feed in details about themselves and their problems. Well, problem is equal to difficulty here because it's just paraphrased, and to receive advice from virtual versions. So here, so this idea is given, right? So your personal difficulties. So these are personal difficulties, they're problems. And getting help is like getting is receiving, right? Receiving advice. That's getting. I hope you understand the connection between them. And of course you might think that where is new way? Well, new way, it's mentioned here. It's innovative idea, right? It's innovative. Such innovative ideas, they're mentioning to these ideas, right? Getting getting advice from virtual versions. This is new way. Or if you read in other places, there might be other information about this thing being new. But anyways, it's mentioned here, so it's enough. So this information is given. The answer here would be A. Okay, let's write it A. And how much? But still, I don't stop here. I have to read till the end because I have to understand everything. And then when I read B, C, and other paragraphs, I don't have to read and analyze one more time. You see, that's why I have to read now and try to remember as much as I can. So how much investment goes into safeguarding the ideas of individuals? All right, so it's about how much investment. It's about how much money goes into like keeping, or protecting ideas of individuals, right? Safeguarding, like protecting ideas of individuals is like people. Good. Two examples of companies which have succeeded. So two examples of companies which have succeeded through being innovative. Okay. So I have to find a paragraph where information about two innovative companies were given. Yeah, two companies which were successful because of innovative ideas, right? So I have to find such information. All right. Now next one. How some innovators manage to avoid spending large sums of money on testing out their ideas. Okay, how some innovators manage to avoid spending large sums of money, a lot of money, right, on testing their ideas, Okay, and then a commonly held opinion. A commonly held opinion means like an opinion which everyone believes about product designers that needs to be proved wrong. So there must be some kind of commonly, believed, a common idea that everyone believes, and this idea must be proved wrong. Okay, so there must be some information about, making people stop believing such wrong ideas. I'd like to say BS, but it's quite rude, right? So I don't say that. The target of one large company that has changed its business focus. Okay, the target of one large company that has changed its business focus. All right, so I have to find some information about one company that changed its focus. It's like plans, like targets. Okay, so I understood everything here. So now when I read other paragraphs, I don't have to analyze like this. I just read and find whether this information was given in this paragraph or not. That's it. Now we can continue. So so far I found from paragraph A, I found two answers, right? Answer for question number 8 and answer for question number 2. So 2 answers were hidden in paragraph A. You see, guys, sometimes in IELTS several answers could be found in one paragraph, and sometimes no answer could be found in one paragraph. It's quite possible. Now let's continue. Innovation has become a major concern of American management. Firms have found that it is increasingly difficult to redesign existing products or to produce them more economically. The stars of American business tend today to be innovators such as Amazon, all right, the internet bookstore, and Walmart, the supermarket chain, which have produced completely new ideas or products that have changed their industries. All right. So I understood. So it's about innovation being like difficult a bit, and yeah, and it's about the problems of some kind of firms, but also it gives information about Amazon and Walmart. Yeah, two companies. Let's see. The methods some companies use. Okay, there was no information about methods, so I cannot find anything here in this paragraph. So this information is not given here, so I'm gonna skip that. And A is chosen. I'm gonna look at 3. How much investment? So it's not. There is no information about investment and or money at all. So this information is definitely not given in paragraph B. 2 examples of companies which have succeeded through being innovative. Okay. 2 companies are mentioned here. Maybe the answer is this one, right? Let's see. So the stars of American business tend to be innovators such as, okay, here, the stars of American business tend today to be innovators such as Amazon and Walmart. So these 2 are mentioned as innovators, and they are mentioned as like American business, the stars of American business, like they're mentioned as successful businesses, right? So that's why I think this answer is correct. And which have produced completely new ideas or products that have changed their industries. They even revolutionize their industries. So yeah, 2 examples of companies which have succeeded through being innovative are Amazon and Walmart. They're mentioned here. So the answer would be B, I guess. So what I do is normally, if I'm not 100% sure, I normally choose B and put this exclamation mark, because if I find at the end, if I find a better answer for this question, I change my question answer. But if I can't find a better answer, I just leave it as it is, okay? Because it's better to write something. So this is, I think this answer is correct, but still, let's see. In a way, here it's about money again. So in paragraph B, there's no information about money, and there's no information about opinion. There's no information about the target of any company. So we're going to move on. Okay, as for true false not given, let's look at here. Here, Amazon and Walmart have exchanged successful ideas on innovation. Well, here there's information about Walmart and Amazon, and the answer is definitely not given, because there's no information about, there's no information about any exchange, right? So maybe you have chosen the answer well, true here. If you did so, if you chose true as an answer, it means that you are not looking at the question in details. You're not reading and trying to understand everything in the question. Because look at the question. In the question it says Amazon and Walmart have exchanged successful ideas on innovation. It means they gave some ideas to each other, like they gave and received ideas from each other. So they exchanged. Yani ular bir-biri bilan fikr almashdi. Fikr bergan va olgan. So you have to look at it. But here it says it just changed, not exchanged. It's just changed. They just changed their industries, and there's no information about changing ideas. It's just about changing industries. Yani bu yerda o'zini sanoatini o'zgartirib yuborgan. Lekin ular hech narsa almashmagan. Bu yerda almashish haqida gap yo'q. Bu yerda ikkalasi ikki xil fe'l. Change, exchange, boshqa narsalar. So guys, if you chose true here, please learn to read and understand questions in detail. So you have to look at every single piece of detail in the question, or that's the only way to improve your reading skill. Yeah, so that's why the answer is not given, because there's no information about exchanging anything in this paragraph. Now let's move on. And here, question number 10. Now I have to read question number 10 and 11 using financial rewards. All right, financial rewards. To encourage innovation is an outdated practice. Okay, so it means basically giving money for like encouraging or motivating innovation is outdated, is like old-fashioned. IBM failed to understand David Post's virtual expert's idea. Okay, so if you find some information about IBM and David Post's ideas, we can try to find the answer for this question. For now, we can continue reading. So again, how many answers were found from paragraph B? I found what? Well, the answer for question number 4 and the answer for question 9, right? 2 answers were hidden in this paragraph, right? So let's move on. Over the past 15 years, the firms which have achieved the greatest profits have been the ones which have had the most innovations. Okay, but such profits aren't easy to come by. One of the reasons for the increasing number of mergers between companies is a desperate search for new ideas. And a fortune is spent nowadays on identifying and protecting intellectual property, other people's ideas. Okay, so it's defining what intellectual property is. So intellectual property is basically other people's ideas. And according to the Pasadena-based patent and license exchange in the United States, trading in intangible assets such as intellectual property rose from 15 billion in 1990 to 100 billion in 1998, with an increasing proportion of the rewards going to small firms and individuals. Okay, so here in this paragraph I found information about innovation and its value, right? So how much money is spent on it, and yeah, such information is given here, and even companies are joining together because of lack of innovations. Probably they want to produce more innovations, that's why they are joining together. The word merger means like joining two companies. When two companies merge, it means they're joining together. So let's see. the methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. So there is no information about employees, so this information is not hidden in paragraph C. How much investment goes into safeguarding the ideas of individuals. All right, here I found information about protecting intellectual property, right? So a fortune is spent, a lot of money is spent nowadays on identifying and protecting intellectual property, right? So this information is given here. And also here some information about how much money is being spent is given. So I think the answer would be C for this question. The answer, how much investment goes into safeguarding the ideas of individuals. So here it says a fortune is spent nowadays on identifying and protecting intellectual property, right? So ideas of individuals is just paraphrased as other people's ideas. So they're just paraphrasings. And how much money is spent? A lot, right? A fortune is spent. A fortune means a lot of money, a lot. Basically, that's it. And the amount is given. The amount of money is given here. So we can move on. So next one. How some innovators managed to avoid spending large sums of money on testing their ideas. I think there was no information about testing any ideas. Yeah, no information. And a commonly held opinion about product, no opinion. There's no information about some kind of commonly held opinion. And the target of one large company. There's no information about one large company. Let's move on. Using financial rewards. There's no information about financial rewards. And here, intellectual property. So we read something about it, so we can find information. It can be lost when firms merge. So there was information about merging, but there's no information about I mean intellectual property being lost. So this one, B. It tends to belong to companies rather than individuals. Well, there's no information. There's no such information. It is valued more than it used to be. This can be true. It is not usually owned by small companies. Well, this information is also not given there in paragraph C, I mean. So yeah, it is valued more than before. This information is given more than before, more than it used to be, because here it says, look, trading in intangible assets such as intellectual property rose from 15 billion to 100 billion, right, in 8 years time. So yeah, the value is increasing, right? The value is increasing. So that's why we can say C is the correct answer here. So I'm going to choose C. Okay, how can I choose? I just make it bold, yeah, bold letter. So it means that I chose this. So C is the correct answer. And here Peter Chaman is an example of someone who has realized that. So I have to find Peter Chaman, and after that the answer for this question can be found. Now I'm gonna move on. You see guys how I am working? You should work just like this. Now I'm gonna move on to paragraph D. And therein lies therein lies the terror for big companies, that innovation seems to work best outside them. Many of the large established companies have been struggling to come up with new products recently. In the management of creativity, size is your enemy, argues Peter Chaman. Here, Peter Chaman, who runs Fox TV and Film, who runs Fox TV. Okay, it means who runs means he's not like running physically, right? He's like managing. He's the boss of Fox TV. So Peter Chaman is the boss of Fox TV and Film Empire for News Corporation. Okay. Who runs Fox TV and Film Empire for News Corporation. One person managing 20 movies is never going to be as involved as one doing 5 movies. He has thus tried to break down the studio. The studio, again here, referencing is going on, guys. Referencing the studio. It's not just a studio. I mean, it's not just any studio. It's the studio. So it's referring to this idea. Who runs Fox TV, right? So it's about this studio. So break down this studio, the studio, into smaller units, and even at the risk of incurring higher costs. Okay. So we understood what's happening here. Now we're gonna read. First of all, the methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. I guess there is no information about employees here, right? No information about employees. And this one, how some innovators manage to avoid spending large sums of money on testing out their ideas. There's no information about testing out ideas, right? No information about testing ideas. A commonly held opinion, there's no commonly held opinion. The target of one large company that has changed its business focus. There's no information about business focus either. There is no answer hidden here for this question type. We're gonna move on. For true, false, not given. Using financial reward. There's no information about financial reward, so I'm gonna skip that. And here, Peter Chapman. So this guy was Peter Chapman, right? Yeah. Is an example of someone who has realized that large companies are less innovative than smaller ones. Well, actually, it can be true. It can be correct. Let's move on. Other businesses are more innovative than the film businesses. No. His employees need more experience of innovation. No, he didn't talk about his employees, right? He's the best person to encourage innovation. So out of those answers, A is the only possible answer here, because these four options, are not given at all in paragraph D, because he didn't mention anything about his employees or him being, a motivator. I mean, motivating is innovation, or supporting innovation. There's no information about that, and he didn't talk about his employees and about their experience. And yeah, he didn't, say anything against business. I mean, film businesses, and he didn't compare any film businesses either. So yeah, A is the correct answer, because large companies are less innovative than small ones. He mentioned here, many large established businesses have struggling to come up with ideas. Blah blah blah. So he said here, one person managing 20 movies is never going to be as involved as one doing 5 movies. So if your company is very big, it means that you cannot focus and put more effort into one thing, because you have to care about other things as well. So basically this is his idea. So A is the only possible option here. Now we're going to move on, and in conclusion, here it says, paragraph 14 says in conclusion. So only at the end I can come back to multiple choice and then try to find answer for this one. But till that time, I don't have to look at question number 14 again. So let's read E. It's easier for ideas to develop outside big firms these days. In the past, if a clever scientist had an idea he wanted to commercialize, he would take it first to a big company. Now, with the banks encouraging individuals to set up new businesses through offering special loans, innovators are more likely to set up on their own. Umagic has already raised 5 million and is about to raise 25 million more, even in capital-intensive businesses such as pharmaceuticals. And entrepreneurs can conduct profitable early-stage research, selling out to the profitable early-stage research. Profitable early-stage research, selling out to the big firms when they reach expensive, risky clinical trials. Okay, interesting information is given here. Now let's see the methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. Again, there's no information about employees and keeping the employees, right? So we can skip that part. And how some innovators manage to avoid spending a large sums of money on testing out their ideas. If you look at it, so how some innovators manage to avoid spending large sums of money on testing out their ideas. Here it says, even in capital-intensive businesses such as pharmaceuticals, right? Pharmaceuticals, entrepreneurs can conduct profitable early-stage research, selling out to the big firms when they reach expensive, risky clinical trials. So here it says, even in capital-intensive businesses, pharmaceuticals, well, like some kind of companies that produce drugs, such companies can try and see whether they can conduct the business, and if they reach such a stage where they have to risk and the risk costs a lot of money, in that situation they can just sell out. They can just sell their company. So this is how they are managing. This is how they are avoiding spending large sums of money on testing their ideas. So that's why the answer would be B here. Now let's move on. A commonly held opinion about product designers that there's nothing about product designers here. The target of one large company. There is no information about one large company. Now let's move on. Using financial rewards to encourage innovation. There is no information about financial reward. IBM, no information. So we can continue. So there is only one answer hidden in this paragraph. Paragraph E. Some giants, including General Electric and Kisco, have been remarkably successful at buying up and integrating scores of small companies, but many others worry about the prices they have to pay and the difficulty in keeping hold of the people who dreamt up the ideas. Okay, but many others worry about the prices that they have to pay and the difficulty in keeping hold of the people who dreamt up the ideas. Okay, everybody would like to develop more ideas in-house. All right, Procter & Gamble is now changing the entire direction of its business from global expansion. Okay, Procter & Gamble is now changing the entire direction of its business from global, entire direction of its business from global expansion to product development. One of its new aims to get innovations accepted across the company. Okay. Elsewhere, the search for innovation had led to a craze for entrepreneurship, giving more power to individuals in the company and setting up internal ideas factories so that talent staff will not leave. Okay, there's information about talent staff, right? Okay, so I think there will be more, answers here. So the methods some companies use to try to keep their most creative employees. I guess the answer is hidden in paragraph F, because I saw information about elsewhere, search for innovation led to blah blah blah. So here, giving more power to individuals in the company and setting up internal ideas factories so that talent staff will not leave. So these companies are doing some kind of methods in order to keep the talented staff that give some innovative ideas, right? Some creative ideas. So the information is hidden here. Now let's move on. A commonly held opinion. No, there's no information about it. This, the target of one large company. So this one is also given here, I guess. F. So this, the target. So Procter and Gamble is now changing the entire direction of its business. So they're changing their direction. You see, guys, there is information about one large company, and also there is information about this. So it says one of its new aims is to get innovation accepted. So it's their new aim. You see, target, aim. So they changed their aims and they changed their directions, like changing the entire direction. So it's also kind of paraphrasing for the targets, right? So yeah. So you see, guys, we finished this question type now. Using financial rewards. Rewards to encourage innovation is an outdated practice. I guess there was no information about financial rewards. Yeah, no information. Now we're gonna move on. What about this one? Yeah, we don't have. Well, yeah, that's it. We're gonna move on and read the other parts. Here. Here there are questions. So I have only 2 paragraphs left. And yet, innovation does not happen just because the chief executive wills it. Wills it means wants it. Indeed, it is extremely difficult to come up with new ideas year in, year out, especially brilliant ones. Underneath all experts' diagrams, lists, and charts, most of the available answers seem to focus on 2 strengths that are difficult to impose: a culture that looks for new ideas and leaders who know which ones to back. Companies have to discredit the widespread view that jobs working on new products are for those who can't cope in the real business. Okay, there is some information about some kind of view, right? They have to change the culture by introducing hard incentives, as giving more generous bonuses to those who come up with successful new ideas, and particularly not punishing those whose experiments fail. Okay, so we understood the paragraph, and now let's see. So we have only this question type. Using financial rewards to encourage innovation is an outdated practice. Actually, there was information about financial rewards, right? Let's see. Companies have to discredit widespread. Let's see. Yeah, they have to change the culture by introducing hard incentives. So incentive degani bu rag'bat. Incentive bu rag'bat. Demak o'sha by introducing hard incentives. Demak kuchli rag'bat berish kerak, such as giving more generous bonuses. Masalan, mana bunaqa more generous bonus degani ya'ni anchagina saxiyroq bonuslar. So it's basically giving more money, right? More money to those who come up with successful new ideas. Okay. So here it says they have to change the culture by introducing, hard incentives, such as giving more money. And using financial rewards to encourage innovation is an outdated practice. So here it's not saying that it's outdated. It's against. It's saying something against that, right? It's saying that they have to. You see, they must. Change the culture by introducing such incentives, right? So it means they're against that, right? So they're not saying that it's outdated. They have to do it. It means that it's still, working. It's still actual. It still can be used. So that's why the answer here would be false. And then IBM failed. So there's no information about IBM. And yeah, we're gonna move on and read the last paragraph finally, right? So will all this reorganization and culture tweaking make big firms more creative? David Post, the founder of Umagic, isn't so sure. Okay, so he doesn't know whether it's going to be helpful for big companies to be more creative or try to be more creative. There's no information about that. So he doesn't know. I mean, the founder doesn't know. He also recalls with glee the looks of total incomprehension when he tried to sell his virtual experts idea 3 years ago to firms such as IBM. Though, as he cheerfully adds, of course they could have been right. Okay. Apparently, innovation, unlike diet, fitness, and parenting, is one area where a computer cannot tell you what to do. Alright, so basically David Post is saying that he doesn't know whether the innovation, he doesn't even know what's going to happen in the future, right? So basically he's saying that. So let's see. IBM failed to understand David Post's virtual experts idea. So here it's true. It's obviously true because here there was information about that. Companies like IBM had total incomprehension. It means they didn't understand at all. So that's why the answer is true. And the last question. Let's see the last question. In conclusion, the writer suggests that big computer-based industries cannot be innovative. They cannot be innovative. There is no information about they not being able to be innovative. So that's why A is not correct. Big firms are right to be cautious about innovation. Okay, so here it says they're right to be cautious about innovations. There was some information about that, but let's read till the end. Small firms should not worry about early failures. There's no information about that. Innovation will always involve some uncertainty. Okay, this is better answer, I guess. So innovation will always involve some uncertainty. So here basically David Post was saying that it's always unclear, right? Apparently it says innovation, unlike diet, fitness, and parenting. So innovation is one area where a computer cannot tell what to do. So it's unclear. So computer cannot tell you what to do with innovation. So that's why innovation will always involve some uncertainty. So this one is a bit better answer, I guess. Yeah, so this is the answer here. I hope, guys, this video walkthrough was quite useful for you. And yeah, of course, the video was quite long, but don't worry, in the real exam you will not, you'll not have to explain every single answer that you find, so you do not spend a lot of time when you're doing your real test, hopefully, right? After watching such videos, you can understand how to deal with different question types and different passages, and hopefully you're going to get the highest possible score. Thank you for watching. Okay, guys, goodbye and good luck.